Welcome to the show, folks. We're about to dive deep into some seriously weird stuff. We're talking about unexplained aerial phenomena, UAPs, the stuff that makes you question everything you thought you knew about physics and the nature of reality. Between May 2023 and June 2024, there were over 200 reported sightings, and let me tell you, some of this stuff is just unexplainable. We're talking objects moving at impossible speeds, defying gravity, and displaying characteristics that have left even the most skeptical scientists scratching their heads. Today, we'll explore 10 of the most intriguing unresolved cases. The ones that have got everyone from NASA scientists to Pentagon officials buzzing. We're gonna break down the eyewitness accounts, the radar data, the video footage, all of it. Buckle up, folks, because this is where it gets really interesting. Our first case takes us to rural Wyoming, where multiple witnesses reported seeing a massive green fireball streaking across the night sky. Now I know what you're thinking, meteor, right? But hold on, this thing was different. Witnesses described it as being incredibly large, much larger than any shooting star they'd ever seen. And the color, this wasn't your typical fiery orange or yellow meteor. This thing was glowing a vibrant, almost unnatural green. It's like someone took a green laser pointer and pointed it at the Earth. What's even weirder is that this thing moved slowly and silently across the sky, not burning up in the atmosphere like you'd expect. It just sort of glided, for lack of a better term, before disappearing below the horizon. Now some experts have speculated that it could have been space debris re-entering the atmosphere, maybe a satellite burning up. But the color, the slow, silent movement, it just doesn't add up. This next case, man, this one's a real head-scratcher. We're talking about a series of sightings of a truly bizarre object, something that looked like a giant, flashing, multicolored jellyfish in the sky. These reports came from all over the globe, from pilots, air traffic controllers, even everyday folks just looking up at the night sky. They all described a similar object, a large, translucent, bell-shaped thing with tentacles or streamers trailing behind it. And the craziest part? This thing was flashing and pulsating with different colors like some kind of alien disco ball. Witnesses reported seeing red, green, blue, all sorts of colors shifting and changing. Now this wasn't just some stationary object hanging in the sky. People reported seeing this thing move and move fast. Okay, so picture this. You're driving down a deserted highway in the middle of nowhere, Nevada. It's the dead of night and there's not another soul around. Suddenly you see something strange in your rear-view mirror. A bright light appears in the sky behind you, moving fast. You slow down, roll down your window, and that's when you see it. A 6-foot-long, silver, rocket-shaped object zipping through the air, just above the tree line. This is exactly what happened to one terrified driver in the Nevada desert. He managed to pull over and capture a few seconds of footage on his phone before the object vanished into the night. Now this wasn't some blurry, out-of-focus blob. This was a clear, detailed video of a solid, metallic object moving at incredible speed and changing direction with an agility that would make even the most advanced fighter jet jealous. This next case is one of the most compelling pieces of evidence we have of UAPs. It's the infamous Go Fast video, captured by a US Navy FA-18 Super Hornet fighter jet off the coast of California back in 2015. The video shows a strange, tic-tac-shaped object flying just above the ocean's surface. The pilots, highly trained observers, were completely baffled by what they were seeing. This thing was moving incredibly fast, like ridiculously fast, and making these sharp, sudden turns that seemed to defy the laws of physics. At one point, the object even appears to rotate on its axis. The pilots tried to lock onto it with their radar, but it was like this thing was jamming their systems. Now, the Pentagon has officially declassified this video, confirming its authenticity. They've even admitted that they don't know what it is. Moving on to the Middle East, where a drone operator captured some truly bizarre footage of a shiny silver ball flying over a desert landscape. The drone operator, who was filming a military exercise at the time, noticed this strange object hovering in the distance. At first he thought it was just a weather balloon or something, but as he zoomed in with the drone's camera, he realized that this was something else entirely. The object was perfectly spherical, metallic, and reflecting sunlight like a mirror. It was moving slowly at first, kind of bobbing up and down, but then all of a sudden this thing just took off. I mean, it shot across the sky like a bullet, leaving the drone operator completely speechless. He'd never seen anything move that fast in his life. One of the most intriguing aspects of the UAP phenomenon is the sheer variety of shapes these objects take. We're not just talking about your classic flying saucer here, folks. We're talking about orbs, cylinders, triangles, even things that look like giant metallic boomerangs. There have been multiple reports of these strange shapes, often seen moving in formation or performing aerial maneuvers that seem to defy the laws of physics. For example, there was a case in Arizona where multiple witnesses reported seeing a triangle-shaped craft with bright lights at each corner, hovering silently over a residential area. The object remained visible for several minutes, slowly rotating as if it was surveying the area, before silently shooting straight up into the sky and disappearing. These are just a couple of examples of the many bizarre shapes that have been reported in recent years. Now, here's where things get really interesting, and a little bit scary. Over the past few years, there's been a significant increase in UAP sightings near sensitive military installations and nuclear power plants. We're talking about highly secure areas, bristling with surveillance equipment, and yet, these objects are somehow able to penetrate our airspace undetected. Take, for instance, the incident at Malmstrom Air Force Base in Montana back in 2022. Multiple personnel witnessed a bright red orb hovering near the base's nuclear missile silos. This thing was picked up on radar, and it even interfered with some of the base's communication systems. Then there was the string of sightings near Navy warships off the coast of California. These objects, often described as pyramid-shaped, were seen flying erratically near the ships, even dropping down close to the water's surface. The Navy actually released some of the footage from these encounters, and it shows these objects moving in ways that our current technology simply can't replicate. These incidents have raised serious national security concerns. Now I know what you're thinking, what does the government have to say about all this? Well, in 2022, the Pentagon established the Airborne Object Identification and Management Synchronization Group, later renamed the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, or ADARO. This office is tasked with collecting and analyzing all UAP data and trying to figure out what the hell is going on. The current ADARO director, Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick, a highly respected physicist and intelligence expert, has been pretty open about the challenges they face. In congressional hearings and public statements, he's emphasized that the vast majority of UAP sightings can be attributed to mundane explanations like drones, weather balloons, or sensor errors. However, he's also acknowledged that there's a small percentage of cases, maybe 2 to 5%, that they simply can't explain. These are the cases that keep him up at night, the ones that suggest that we may not be alone in the universe. Dr. Kirkpatrick and his team are taking a very scientific, data-driven approach to this issue, which is exactly what we need. For decades, the government was tight-lipped about UAPs. They dismissed sightings as hoaxes or misidentifications, and they actively discouraged any serious investigation into the phenomenon. But in recent years, something has changed. There's been a noticeable shift towards transparency, with the government releasing previously classified documents and videos and holding public hearings on the issue. This newfound openness is largely due to pressure from lawmakers and the public, who are demanding answers. People are tired of the secrecy and the cover-ups. They want to know what the government knows about UAPs, and they want to know now. This push for transparency is a good thing. It's about time the government started taking this issue seriously and stopped treating it like some kind of taboo subject. So, where do we go from here? The study of UAPs is still in its infancy, but we're making progress. ARO is continuing to collect and analyze data, and they're developing new technologies to better track and identify these objects. One of the most promising developments is the use of artificial intelligence to sift through the massive amounts of data being collected by sensors around the world. AI can help us identify patterns and anomalies that humans might miss, potentially leading to breakthroughs in our understanding of UAPs. There are also plans to establish a formal process for reporting and investigating UAP sightings, involving not just the military, but also civilian agencies like the FAA, and even private citizens. The goal is to create a more open and transparent system for collecting and sharing information about UAPs. We've covered a lot of ground today, folks, from strange lights in the sky to government cover-ups and the search for extraterrestrial life. While many UAP sightings can be explained away as mundane objects or phenomena, there's a small percentage that defy explanation. These are the cases that keep scientists, intelligence officials, and everyday people like you and me wondering, What else is out there? Stay tuned for more updates as investigations continue, and don't forget to check out the full 8ARO reports and congressional briefings for deeper insights. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe for more intriguing content. And hey, if you've had your own UAP encounter, drop a comment below. Let's keep the conversation going.